Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Small Brain Pod, where today we're not going to do a video because I am walking in nature right now. It's a snowy day in Washington, D.C., and I figured I'd go on a little stroll, a little mental health stroll. It's now turned into a podcast because my thoughts are going. What does that say? I feel like that's some kind of critique on creator culture. We can't even ever fucking put down the microphone, not even when we're doing something for ourselves. Anyways, there's a lot of freaking planes up here, so I'm hoping that's not being picked up on the microphone. But anyways, guys, how you doing? I hope you're well. We just got some snow in DC, and was walking around, and it got me thinking about traveling because I'm off on a solo walk. It's not often I do these in DC. Just kind of off exploring a little random island outside of the city, covered in snow. It's quite nice, and I'm realizing snow is kind of a metaphor for travel. Now, before you immediately turn off the podcast and say, fuck this guy, he's so cringe now, bear with me for a second. Honestly, when I've been on this walk, I'm thinking like, I'm actually enjoying the places more with no footprints. Even if it's not a very interesting area, I like to be the first one to put the footprints there. Now, what does that say about me? Is that some kind of critique on colonization? On imperial state of fucking travel YouTubers? I don't know. But I just enjoy it. I personally think it's a much better experience to be the first one to lay tracks somewhere, even if it's not that cool. Because I feel like the places without tracks, they have a story. Why is no one there? It's like in Myanmar, it was essentially abandoned, you know? And there's a story to be told there. An isolated country with essentially a military dictatorship going on. Why is that? You know, how do the people feel about that? I feel like that creates a much more interesting narrative than the well-trodden places, you know, like here in the snow in DC. I feel like it's a great allegory for travel because, you know, maybe you're walking on a really well-trodden path that's got a million footsteps. It's kind of dirty, and like you can clearly tell a very well-established route that's very well-trodden, kind of gross-looking, very bland in my opinion. It's somewhere that everybody's already been, like fucking, you know, Rome. Everybody's been there. There's already a million stories that have been told there. You know, I feel like the very nature of places like, you know, Bangladesh or Myanmar or, I don't know, name your fucking random country, but there's just a story to be told there, and it's a little more untouched. You know what I mean? And, you know, I've been reading a lot about like explorers in the 1800s, colonization, you know, missionaries, all that fucked up shit. Recently watched a documentary about this kid that went to, Jesus Christ, these planes. God, it's like the one place in DC away from the city, and yet you have these planes just rocketing overhead constantly. But anyways, there's this kid, I think his name was John Chow. Me and my girl just watched a documentary on him where he was like a radical Christian missionary where he wanted to spread Christianity to the ends of the earth. And he took it to its logical conclusion, which was going to a place where the tribes literally kill people with arrows anytime someone washes up on their shore. They have a really fucked up history of missionaries and British colonizers coming there and like kidnapping people, you know, killing them off with diseases. You know the drill. Jesus, now there's a helicopter? Jesus Christ, DC. No chill at all. I'm trying to make a mediocre living here. I'm trying to get 400 views. Come on. Jesus. But yeah, this place is called North Sentinel Island. I would look it up if I were you. It's extremely interesting of all the missionaries and colonizers that have tried to go there and tried to trade with these people and negotiate with them and try to, like, you know, try to become friends, because that's how it always starts, right? You got to become friends with them before you can fucking genocide them. And they don't want to have anything to do with it. There was one guy back in the 1800s, a British guy, that went there, basically kidnapped a family, took them back to mainland India, kept them in his like basement. The mom and dad died, and he's like, oh shit. And then he sent the kids back to the island, who inevitably brought sorry, it's cold, diseases back to these people, and wiped a bunch of it out. And essentially they baked in that story into their mythology. They're like, oh yeah, the demon will come and he'll kidnap you and he'll take you, these evil spirits. So they've kind of, it's a very interesting story. And this guy John Chow found out about these people and he was radicalized at this like Christian university. And they're like, oh yeah, you got to go spread Christianity to the ends of the earth, right? So he's like, all right, bet. I'm going to go to a place where no one's ever been. I'm going to go to a place where they kill off all the missionaries. I'm going to try to be the first guy. Oh my God, these planes, dude. He's like, all right, bet. I'm going to be the first guy to ever do it. Now, whether that was ego, whether that was, a fool's approach, which I feel like is not really debatable, but, whether that was like him being a good Christian, whatever you want to chalk it up to, that's what happened, right? He went to this island, essentially a suicide mission. And you listen to all these like Christian commentators on it, like the kind of crazy ones, and they're like, oh yeah, like he did such a great job. He was trying to bring Christianity to these people. He was trying to keep them from hell. And the morals are very questionable of it, because it's essentially like New Age colonization. It's like very faintly veiled colonization with Jesus on their side, And I get it. I used to be a Christian. Like, I understand the appeal of converting people because you want to keep them from hell, right? But at the same time, you got to consider like the consequences in the real world. Like, what's going to happen to these people? They're going to they belong to India, for God's sake. Like, you think India gives a fuck about these people and their like natural culture? And I mean, they do have like a legal protection on them. Like, no one can go to the island, right? But I mean, you guys know India. They're developing the fuck out of their country. They don't give a fuck. I think it'd be so easy for them to turn on these people. And so anyways, Jesus Christ, I'm just kind of rambling. But I watched this documentary with my girl, and it like was extremely thought-provoking. I'm like, damn, am I being a colonizer when I go to these places that are less traveled to? Like when I went to Iraq, this girl in Turkey accused me of being racist. She's like, you don't need to go to Iraq because those people have been through enough and they don't want to see a white person. And like, she was essentially being upset on behalf of the Iraqi people, which at the time I was like, that seems more racist to me, because she's like standing up for these people that she doesn't really know anything about. She's never been there. She's, and once I went to Iraq, I realized, oh, these people are wonderful. They want Americans to come. They want more international tourism. They want kind of the international spotlight. They need the money. So yeah, I was upset by that, because I'm like, man, I'm trying to like do something nice, all right? I'm not trying to go to fucking Istanbul like everybody goes to. It's so well trodden. Honestly, I feel like that's more colonization than anything. It's like a place where everybody speaks English. There's Western culture there, Western influence, Western music. Everyone will cater to your needs, as opposed to going to a place where you have to accommodate yourself to that culture. Like in Iraq, I had to change the way I acted. You know what I mean? Like, it's a totally different place. It's different rules apply there. And I feel like that's more stimulating to me than just going to fucking Rome or Athens or whatever, which, I feel like those places are interesting, but I just think it's like the snow metaphor again, guys. I'm on my hippie shit today. I'm walking in the snow, getting real thoughtful by myself. Maybe going a little crazy out here. But, Jesus, I've really just talked myself in circles, goddamn. So I am conscious of that narrative, right? Like, I don't want to be like John Chow. I don't want to be a fucking colonizer. I don't want to ruin these people's countries. You know what I mean? But at the same time, just naturally, I think it is more interesting. So it just got me thinking a lot about kind of my role in tourism. And I don't want to be a bad guy, but naturally, I just think those places are more interesting to me. So if you can go there with less of an impact, not fuck up their culture, pump a few tourist dollars in their, into their country, bring some good publicity, I don't see what's wrong with that. You know what I mean? And yeah, just the well-trodden places, they're just dirty, they're filthy. People just don't treat you right. They scam you, they steal from you. I mean, that's happening in Colombia right now. Like, they're going through kind of a renaissance in tourism, for better or for worse, right? First, it was like the Pablo Escobar drama, and now it's like petty theft, because these assholes are coming to there to get laid, to get high. And the country's pretty fucked up right now with like petty crime, robberies, kidnappings, murders. It's just some Colombian shenanigans, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I just wanted to get on here and rant. The fucking snow metaphor really got me going. And even like, on a path, right? And the center of it's really well trodden. Maybe they've laid some salt down. Maybe they made it really easy for you. Maybe they've nerfed it, so to speak. Maybe they've made it so any idiot can succeed there, i.e., fucking London or like whatever, name your fucking place, Cancun, just any well-trodden place. To me, that just takes the fun out of it. Like, I kind of like to fight through the snow. I kind of like, Jesus Christ. As I was saying that, I literally started to fall. I slipped in some mud. So, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness, guys. Careful what you wish for. I literally was talking about how I kind of like a little bit of challenge when I started to fall in the mud. But I stand by that. I would rather fall and eat shit trying to do something new, trying to do something no one's ever done before, as opposed to just having it handed to me on a silver platter and like a nice little McDonald's Happy Meal. I'd rather fucking go out and hunt for it, you know what I'm saying? Not to be dramatic or anything, but that is how I feel. Like I kind of want to earn it a little more. I don't want it to be just handed to me, because if like any schmuck can do that, that's a low-hanging fruit, you know. But to go to some of the places I've been going and I plan on going, I think requires a little more acumen, you know what I mean, a little more skill and finesse, and I feel like that's part of the challenge. It's part of the fun. It's part of the story that makes it compelling. It's not a story to fucking start a video in an airport and be like, hey, today we're flying to Montreal. Get off the plane. Hey guys, we're in Montreal. Let's go to fucking Tim Horton. Like, that's not, there's no challenge. There's no conflict. There's no story arc. There's nothing there. It's crap, you know? So I think this just kind of reinvigorated me with exactly what I want to be doing. I want to do like tough challenges this year. I want to go to places I'm uncomfortable in, you know, and not like the fucking most dangerous crap. Like I think I'm done with that. I think that's just play it out. It's old. It encourages people to go to places that actually are dangerous, and just because I succeeded there, I'm encouraging other people to go. I don't think that's right. And yeah, I don't want to come off as condescending. I'm not like putting people down that like to do those run-of-the-mill travel experiences. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like doing, that's what you should do. Sometimes I like going to London and staying at a five-star hotel. Sometimes I like doing stuff with my girlfriend that's cute and fun and easy and romantic. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm more so talking about like the kind of adventure travel side of me that kind of wants to be challenged this year. You know what I mean? I think the Ireland to Japan series was so interesting looking back on it because it made no sense. It shouldn't have ever happened. I shouldn't have been able to afford that entire trip. For so many reasons that should not have been happening, and it did. It continued to persist, even, you know, well into the trip when I was like pretty fed up with it. I continued because, well, I don't know. I just really wanted to make a career on YouTube, and I guess I was desperate. But I don't want to do something quite that drastic this year, like a whole year on the road, going from country to country within a matter of weeks. I think going forward, I want to go slower. You know, I think going to that many countries would be very doable in 2 years. You know, and it would still be a challenge for a lot of different reasons, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just ranting, man. The snow got me going today, guys. I couldn't help it. I had my mic in my backpack, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna rant. I'm 2 Diet Cokes deep, and I'm feeling myself. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much it. I don't know if this is gonna be a podcast episode, whatever the fuck. I just turn on the mic, start talking, upload it somewhere. So anyways, guys, see you next time. Bye-bye.